no DJ. Running this race, no relay. Getting the scripts, no delay. I'm in need of medicine, sitting in the streets and in need of residence. Look in my closet, you might see a skeleton. Locking the door, I cannot let the devil in. But he gon' knock, knock, knock. I feel it when I'm tempted. Ain't no exemptions, got me tripping. This my disposition. Diligent inquisition hit me, then it's admonition. That's the way of life, that's the other option. So I better think twice, I'm really a mess. A real life wretch, a walking, talking wreck. Best keep saying just do it like the shoes with the check. I'm fighting to breathe, I'm starting to believe it's a knee on my neck. And Lord, it got me vexed, vexed, vexed. But I cannot be defeated, spirit won't be defeated. I need it, believe it, I find my strength and weakness. I'm eating the bread of life, upload God laws through the terabyte when I'm fighting the sin. I'm fighting to win, then go out and fight for my kin. Eat, sleep, then do it again. I need salvation from this flesh. I need redemption because I'm vexed. Yeah, I'm praying he listens, cause I got a thorn, and it's deep in me. And I've been torn, evil is with me. Consumed with envy, lust is tempting. Can I give in to sin? Yeah, my carnal flesh is weighing me down. My soul is vexed. When the trumpet sound, I know we got next. But I'm throwing punches, trying to pass the test. Satan got my name coming across his desk. I'm watching my back with every step. My thoughts be vexing me. All of these bills be stressing me. Asking the Lord for the recipe, so I cook it up before the death of me. I'm chained down by mortality. I need a new body from my God without a warranty. Lord, when will it end? I know we gotta conquer sin. Standing strong against the wind. This thorn pricks and it's deep within. And the man in the mirror I'm battling. So with every fast I'm killing them. Starve him out, it ain't no sin for him. Feed my spirit with the benefits. Restitution, I need all of it. Crack the code, I'm solving it. Truth be told, I'm bossing it. I got to overcome this wickedness. Give my all. Get up when I fall. And fight for these laws. Accepting the call. And examine my flaws. Yeah, cause I know that it's me. Denying desires of me. And I look to the highest for strength. I need salvation from this flesh. I need redemption because I'm vexed. Yeah, I'm praying he listens. Cause I got a thorn, and it's deep in me. And I've been torn, evil is with me. Consumed with envy, lust is tempting. And I give in to sin. Place can reach you when you come. Place can reach you in the sun. Get a man style, what you really gonna do? But am I gonna do it on time? I'm looking me now, look at me now. I need advice, we do it now. Don't catch me. Save me from myself, I'm dangerous. I'm leaving, this is enough. Everyone else to the scriptures on the lust. Don't feed it, starving it out. Make it though in a top. So I'm ready to run. Yeah, she's my friend now, so I can't pretend. I ain't pretend now, so I'm ready to run. Yeah, she's my friend now, so I can't pretend. No, I can't pretend. I need salvation from this flesh. I need redemption because I'm vexed. Yeah, I'm praying he listens. Cause I got a thorn, and it's deep in me. And I've been torn, evil is with me. Consumed with envy, lust is tempting. Can I give in to sin?
Hey man, I'm out here getting my money, man. Everybody trying to get paid. Lord ain't paying my bills. I gotta do what I gotta do. All this loose rap y'all hollering, ain't gonna put no money in my pocket, dog.
She said, why my baby dead? Mama, I don't know. I tried to bring him home, but the block ain't let him go. I knew that this would happen knew the Lord. I know it's hard to swallow. He was playing with the devil, so the devil came and got him. The devil came and got him, got him to the sin. He was running from the word from beginning to the end. He said that he was trapped in the game by the work. Ain't no time to go to church cause his money came first. He thought he had some time, but his time got cut. He wouldn't listen to the Lord cause his mind got shut. By the time he realized that he can die at any minute, the gunshots hit him, ain't no time to be repenting. I wish he would've listened to the Lord when he said, let the dead bury the dead. You don't need that kind of bread. I wonder if he prayed while he laid on the scene. If he called on the Lord, maybe Jesus made him clean. Another life lost to the cost of the game. The sins overcame, he was tossed in the flames. She said, why my baby dead? Mama, I don't know. I tried to bring him home, but the block ain't let him go. I knew that this would happen, I could see it in my mind. When the gun started clapping, something told me it was time. He never knew the Lord. I know it's hard to swallow. He was playing with the devil, so the devil came and got him. The devil came and got him, got him to the sin. He was running from the word from beginning to the end. He said he knew his life wasn't right, but it was his. He ain't know that tonight would be the night that it would end. A little bit of sin bought a whole lot of pain. It really is a shame he had a whole lot of gain. His mom and them been praying for him every single night, but mom and them didn't know that he ain't wanna change his life. He rolled with the guns and the drugs and the thugs. If you try to talk some sense, he said it was what it was. It does what it does. He ain't trying to see the love. He was trying to be a thug. Now it's time to see the judge. I pray that the Lord have mercy on his soul, but mercy's for the living, so you know where you gon' go. She said, why my baby dead? Mama, I don't know. I tried to bring him home, but the block ain't let him go. I knew that this would happen, I could see it in my mind. When the gun started clapping, something told me it was time. He never knew the Lord. I know it's hard to swallow. He was playing with the devil, so the devil came and got him. The devil came and got him, got him to the sin. He was running from the word from beginning to the end.
It's all about God. Faith without works, he don't pay you to talk. Nobody's gonna give you their crown. Life without laws, with no direction, we can get lost. Nobody's gonna. Father, 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 hear me when I'm calling. Father, 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 crown me in the morning. Father, 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 hear me when I'm calling. Father, 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 crown me in the morning. I want my palm and my crown. Gotta stand still to be down.
Never been swift to the slumber. Gotta stay woke to be sealed and be numbered. What I discovered is most of my brothers are sincere, but some of them must be uncovered. Oh God, will you be exposed? Missing your crown, approaching the throne. Fire come down, he gon' be cold. Shaking you off from the hem of his robe. Like you was in the middle, you just did a little. You scribbled a jot, you removed the tittle. You was sentimental. You fought for the spittle, you clay for the cattle. Your vessel is brittle, you grace for the sickle. The bridle will trickle. The blood of grapes on the cape of a man with a face like lightning and strike quite frightening. In spite of advice that he gave in his life, when he gave you his life and you still gon' try him. Been ignorant with a death wish. Only death can protect them from their own selves, man. They only blind to reflections.
It's all about God. Faith without works, he don't pay you to talk. Nobody's gonna give you their crown. Life without laws, with no direction, we can get lost. Nobody's gonna. Father, 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 hear me when I'm calling. Father, 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 crown me in the morning. Father, 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 hear me when I'm calling. Father, 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 crown me in the morning.
Deep down in the ghetto, where the chosen ones were laid. Deep down in the ghetto, where the real Hebrews have fled. Deep down in the ghetto, and there's a remnant rising up. Deep down in the ghetto, we finding out the world was made for us.
I live in a society where it's hardly any sobriety, and women are dressed immodestly. As for my people, we get oppressed economically. Plus, it's a war being fought mentally and psychologically. It's hard to see unless you walk in this light. See knowledge, my brass knuckles, and I came here to fight. Ain't talking about strife, I'm talking getting families right. If my death could bring 1,000 to repentance, let me die tonight. Prayfully, I die in Christ as a living sacrifice, acceptable and worthy to live again in the afterlife. Hungry for the word, I got an appetite. From here on out, I'm just trying to live pure like a Nazarite. I see my people killed, that's a sad sight. They gave us white Jesus, that's the Antichrist. All these fake black leaders living the lavish life, while my people get cheated more than the past is right. Deep down in the ghetto,
where the chosen ones were laid. Deep down in the ghetto, where the real Hebrews have fled. Deep down in the ghetto, and there's a remnant rising up. Deep down in the ghetto, we finding out the world was made for us.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm sick of these devils that's trying to trick our mind. I'm sick of marching for justice and never getting none. I'm sick of watching our mothers cry over dead sons. I'm sick of being depressed.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. All right. Turn this mic down a little bit. Welcome back to Surreal Sundays. I'm your host, Old School Exit 9. Oh, boy, we having some audio problems already. Having some audio problems. Got some glitchy stuff going on. Got a new setup. Still working out the kinks. But
Shalom, family. This is Mrs. O. Thank you for
so messing around with these buttons. Got to get used to a little muscle memory needs to come in place so I can hit the buttons, the right ones at the right time. Anyway, what we got tonight, we got one of our beloved actors. He hasn't done much work, not to my knowledge, but he did enough work, significant work in the show The Wire. As far as Gen X, I believe The Wire is one of those monumental shows in what have you. So, Mr. Poot from The Wire, his son, Tray Chaney, Poot, his son, is in ICU as the last that I checked, which was a day or so ago. So we're gonna get into that. That's a sad case, and we pray that his son comes out of that. So we're gonna check out some news reports on that. But before we get into that, another place or another entity, place that is substantial in the basic components of who I am today. So the news I'm about to bring out tonight in regards to this place hits home pretty tough. I'm talking about the closure of Job Corps. That place was a home to me 30 years ago, and it has been a home to many. It's a second, sometimes a third chance for a lot of young people. So to bring this report out tonight about Detroit Job Corps closing across the nation is real disturbing. We're going to go into that. We have Tyrone Mason's family speaking out in regards to the state troopers getting off for falsifying on the police report on what happened. So we're going to get off into that. So that hit kind of hard, right? So we're gonna get off into that. So we have a segment, the Snatch Shenanigans. We got something for that tonight. We got something for this week's Tidbit in Health, that hot video. So without further ado, let's get into it.
You are now listening to some shit.
All right. All right. Had to turn the headphones down. It was kind of distracting me from what I was trying to say. I also noticing something that's not working like it's supposed to. So that kind of distract me. I noticed a notification came up and I totally missed it. So if anybody seen what notification came up, can you please enlighten me? All right. See here. Trying to see if I can repopulate some of the comments that showed up already. That's one of the things that is not working like it's supposed to. So we got some tweaking to do with that. But we here now. So we got A Team in the house. A Team says peace and grace, Mrs. O, old school moderators in the chat. And we have a surprise guest tonight. Vanessa, she's in the house. Miss McCrae, better known as Mama. Mama is in the house. And of course, we got the wonderful Mrs. O. Mrs. O is in the house. Yeah. All right. So let's get right into it. All right. So we're going to start off with the Detroit Job Corps closure. We're going to start off with the news in Detroit. We're going to bounce around the nation. Got a couple of other channels we're going to check out and what have you. So it's something that I want to bring out while we doing this, but I'm going to let you see it for yourself. All right. So let's get it.
Also tonight, a sad scene outside the Detroit Job Corps Center after it was unexpectedly shut down.
This program trains young people for their future, and now many of them who lived on the campus have nowhere to go. Where are you going to go?
I don't know. I tried making a few calls, trying to figure out something, but as of so far, there's nothing that's solid ground.
18-year-old Cameron is dazed. His sudden reality, he has no place to live.
Where are your parents?
One is in jail, the other is dead.
He lived at Detroit Job Corps on Detroit's west side, a career training facility for young people. A sad scene. Friday afternoon, dozens lugged garbage bags full of their belongings, some into their parents' trunks, and others, well, they didn't have anywhere to go.
The staff, they had us go to the wreck at about 1:30, and they broke the news to us, and they had us go to the dorms, pack our stuff.
The staff on site would not say a word to us, but sources tell us it was shut down after recent cuts at the Department of Labor, which oversees the program.
I didn't want him to be a statistic, so I wanted him to be focused and get his education.
16-year-old Carlton Davis lived here, and his mom recently lost their house, and there's more.
I have breast cancer surgery next week, so now I'm debating having my surgery canceled so I can make sure my son is okay.
I'm livid. I am livid. I cannot believe this.
Community activist Pastor Mo trying to help out here after getting calls from frantic mothers. He's worried about the short and long-term solutions for these kids.
The ones who are trying to get it right. That's why I'm so pissed off. These are not kids are in a youth home who got caught in a crime. These are kids who are trying to avoid getting caught in a crime.
Testing. Yeah, absolutely. I was 16 years old, and Mrs. O, Mrs. O, mother-in-law kicked me out. Mind you, at the time, I wasn't fighting. I wasn't um, selling anything. I was still a virgin, and I wasn't using. I wasn't banging, wasn't stealing, had no record. And was kicked out the house. Well, what was you doing, Exit 9? Oh, I wasn't going to school. I was playing video games. John Madden and shit. So, found myself at Job Corps. And that's where I got some of my act together. And it was a gateway to some other stuff as well. So we grew up a little bit in two different ways. Unfortunately, Job Corps does expose you to experiences that you may not get involved or had gotten involved with. And I'm one of those examples of that, okay? Once got into Job Corps, became more involved into other stuff. So it was a blessing and somewhat of a curse. However, it was more so of a blessing. I learned how to do repairs. It was called building and apartment maintenance. That was the program I was in. And I learned how to sweat pipe, minor electrical, minor plumbing, wall repair and painting. I learned enough skills to get employed as a apartment maintenance man. So this place offers a lot of young people who would have went into the wrong direction earlier, and probably in the wrong direction longer, if not permanently, if it wasn't for Job Corps. So Job Corps holds a special place for me. I was able to finish my diploma there, my high school diploma there, and provided me with options. It provided me with several options. I decided to go into the workforce because of reasons today's show isn't about. But I also had a choice to go to college early on, right out of Job Corps. That was an option, and of course we had the military. Well, hey, hands down for people who are socially and economically Yes, that's what I was talking about, static. So I wasn't able to clear that out. Thank you for bringing that out, Mrs. O. What was I getting ready to get into? Yeah, it's a place for those who have gotten in trouble early. They're looking for an opportunity and what have you. For those who are at an economic disadvantage and a social disadvantage, this is a great place to be able to stand on your feet. Get the skills to so you can get going. Okay. From Job Corps, I went on to obtaining a college degree and one successful business, a couple of failed businesses. Coming from my starting point, I feel okay about where I'm at. There's always room for improvement, but I'm glad Job Corps happened for me. And as you can see, there's a lot of people that are affected. Some kids don't have a home to go to when this place closes. When I was finished with the program, I was one of those kids. So the staff let me stay past my time until I was able to secure a job, and that job happened to provide me an apartment. So big ups to Job Corps. I hope that turns around. Let's get off into the rest of this video.
So I put this on social media a couple of hours ago, got some messages from employees now and former employees say they're not surprised by this and they're questioning how this was run financially. So while the Department of Labor has not responded, maybe that sheds some light on why they were targeted in these recent cuts.
But still, in the meantime, you heard from that mother with the breast cancer surgery coming up. What are these people going to do? Hopefully some foundations or organizations can come to the rescue because our hearts go out to them for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on top of it, so stay tuned next week. I'll look into it some more.
Good. Okay, thanks.
Well, tonight, a lot of people across the country.
Hundreds of people all across Tampa Bay out of jobs and places to stay. This after the U.S. Department of Labor paused operations at Job Corps centers across the nation.
These centers were created to prepare young adults for life and the workplace, but the department says they weren't hitting the mark. 10 Tampa Bay's Asha Patel spoke to local students and staff about what's next.
This place is where second chances happen and miracles happen, and this place became my miracle.
Hundreds suddenly told to leave, many like Aslan Johnson not knowing where to go.
I really hope it doesn't shut down.
Now bags packed, they must figure out their next moves.
I was in the process of, transitioning out, like right before all the news, kind of blindsided us.
Pinellas County Job Corps Center is
I just wanted to bring out right in this video right here, you see another demographic being affected. So that's what I wanted to bring out. We're going to go ahead and continue the video.
Is one of many Job Corps across the nation affected by the U.S. Department of Labor's to issue a pause
It's inhumane and heartless.
The decision comes after an internal review of how the program is doing and reportedly found Job Corps faced significant financial challenges.
If the program needs to be evaluated, if it needs to be scrutinized, if it needs to be reformed, then do that. But do it in a sensible, business-like, humane manner.
A spokesperson tells me by Monday, they must start disenrolling the more than 250 students. And by next Friday, vacate all.
I'm going to see a huge gap that's left in our community.
City Council member Corey Givens Jr. says this decision hits home.
I have family members and mentees who I personally helped get jobs that are upset because they feel like this center saved their lives. I'm trying to save the Pinellas County Job Corps Center. I'm devastated.
By June 30th, all staff will be laid off and the students will be gone.
I'm a success story here. I'll be honest with you. I came here with basically nothing.
In St. Pete, Asha Patel, 10 Tampa Bay.
Nationally, tens of thousands of 16 to 20.
So, like the young man just expressed, he's a success story. Job Corps has produced thousands of success stories. You get skills to able to provide for yourself. As far as I know, like in the 20 teens, like 2015, 16, 17, up in there, they had provisions for kids, or I should say young adults, to go to college while they stayed on dorm. I don't know how true this is, but they had families, women with children and what have you, on dorm and what have you, to get their life together, get the skills they need to have a fighting chance. And some of these young adults that we just showed, some of the young adults that were just displayed on here, they don't look like riffraff. So Job Corps is not a haven for just delinquents. It's for anybody between the ages of 16 and 24 who needs that chance. This is one program that should have not been discontinued. You're cutting funds to the universities. You're cutting funds to programs that provides basic skills. And I remember in one of his speeches, he was talking about apprenticeships and stuff, and channeling money to those areas so we can get our skilled labor back up. To get our skilled labor back up. this is one of those programs. They have programs for nursing or nursing assistants. Um, I believe they got programs for certified nursing assistants. Um, as I mentioned, building and apartment maintenance, welding, um, bricklaying, auto repair. Um, so being a mechanic and a auto body, I believe, as well. These are good, decent positions that can provide someone between 20 to $30 an hour. Now, for a lot of people, that's substantial. Diesel mechanic, business administration. Masonry. Thank you, Mrs. O. Thank you, 18. I mean, it's a gambit of skills that they offer. Carpentry. One of my sons, one of my older sons, he was in the carpentry program. And he had a hard time trying to get into an apprenticeship once he left Job Corps. And that's another thing. These apprenticeships, they don't have any type of real governmental oversight. They do what they want to do. They're not about equality or trying to level the playing field. I got a letter. It's from high school diploma. I got my GED from there. Driver's license. So you can get your L's. That's what they call them now, your L's. Yeah, that pissed me off too. He wasn't able to get into the carpentry apprenticeship for whatever reason. Homeland Security. They got a gamut of stuff that they teach these young people, these young adults. Them to be able to get substantial jobs, substantial positions that can really provide them between 50 to 80,000 a year. That's decent wage. That's good stuff to get on your feet and get going. It's a whole lot better than McDonald's. Full-time positions, 40 hours a week positions. As I said, we had two sons that got their high school diplomas there. This is really bad. This is bad stuff right here. This is one program that should not have been touched. There's a lot of people that's going to hurt from this. Not only just educationally wise, and that opportunity to a decent position in their early adult years, but some people have gotten in trouble, and this is part of their second chance. This is part of their probation agreement. There's some people up in here that are homeless. They was knocking out 2-3 birds with one stone at Job Corps. So they got their shelter, they got they eats and they sleeps, they got their education. This is not. Do they plan to revamp the program? Well, let's check out what the news got to say. Maybe we'll grab some of that out of the next two reports that I have on this. Let's check it out.
Well, a federal program that provides education and job training to teens and young adults is being cut as part of President Trump's budget bill. 3 Jobs Corps centers in Oregon are shutting down by the end of the month. Devin Haskins joins us from the newsroom. And Devin, where are these centers located?
Well, Tim, the Department of Labor is putting all contractor-operated Job Corps locations on pause, which impacts the Tongue Point and Springdale locations. Those are in Astoria and Troutdale.
It just feels like it's just being ripped out from us underneath, and it's hard.
Jessica Richta is the deputy director at Tongue Point Job Corps in Astoria. She's a success story, leaving a bad home life and joining Tongue Point at age 16.
It really changed my life. It helped me feel like, that I do matter in this world.
She's one of the many staff members being let go as part of the pause on Job Corps operations across the United States. That includes 3 centers in Oregon.
This devastating news of the possibility of this program not being a program anymore. It hurts to see the young, I walk around center. We walked around this morning to check in with students and check with staff, and, it hurts. It hurts.
Job Corps is a federally funded program that provides education, work training, and job placement for those ages 16 to 24. At Tongue Point, Richta says there are more than 300 students, many of whom come from troubled backgrounds or unsafe living situations.
We've got a large handful of students who have 0 places to go, no family to support them. I'm at a loss of what do we do?
As part of President Trump's fiscal year 26 budget, Job Corps operations are being put on pause. Oregon Senator Ron Wyden says he'll press Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer to reconsider, writing, "I am strongly urging the department to ensure these individuals do not fall through the cracks." And during a budget appropriations briefing in mid-May before it was announced it would close, Chavez-DeRemer says Job Corps wasn't fiscally viable.
The Job Corps program has a price tag of nearly $1.7 billion per year, and we owe it to the taxpayers to be transparent about what is happening. So the average cost per student is about $80,000. And the average cost per enrollee, regardless of their length of stay, is about $50,000.
Richta pushed back on those numbers.
If you were to come step on our center, you would see no way, because our materials are outdated. We can't afford certain things. Our budgets are so limited and so small, but we do the very, very best that we can to focus on employability skills.
The Department of Labor says that all the contractor-operated Job Corps locations will close by June 30th. And that it's working to assist current students with advancing their training and connecting them with employment. Tim?
All right, Devin, thanks very much. Well, a federal program that provides
Mrs. O says there's no way they cost that much. Well, it may cost that much. Problem is the money getting to where it's supposed to go? And we all know that game. So instead of cutting out the program, why don't we start doing an audit, going through the books, see what administrators is pocketing the money. The same BS that goes on. Mrs. O says, straight BS, someone is pocketing the money. That's right. Someone is pocketing the money, embezzling the funds. It's the same shit that goes on in the public schools. How many times have we heard about administrators, principals going down? They supposed to get, they get a stipend to get so many computers, so many books. And what ends up happening? So that's what's going on. Let's look at, the procurement department. Let's look at them. Let's look at the accounting division. Let's look at the CFOs and what they doing. So it's not the program, it's the people who have that opportunity to skim a little bit off the top. DPS. Mrs. O says, in Detroit Public Schools, our kids had the same books we had, the exact same edition. Shit, they had computers in a warehouse, brand new computers just collecting dust. That's what's going on with the money. Thieves. So, I hope that things get reconsidered and things get reconsidered and they bring the program back. Take it off pause. We don't need that on pause. So it's a lot of people that are going to be really frustrated because of this. These are the ones that you don't fuck with, the ones that's trying. You fuck with the ones who's been generationally on welfare and food stamps in Section 8. You fuck with those people who ain't trying. You don't fuck with folks who's going and using the money to help themselves. Shout out to all the, well, not all of you, some of you, those, you know who you are, that I was cool with. Shout out to all the 92, 93, and 94 Job Corps students, Detroit Job Corps students when it was on East Jefferson, St. Clair. Shout out to y'all. Was I there in 92? No. The hell with the 92s. 93s, 94s, and a snippet of the 95s. Small snippet. Shout out to you. All praises, yeah. Pray for those who were homeless in the program and find placement, absolutely. Absolutely. Next up on the program. This comes up correctly.
Tonight, and the mysterious deaths of twin brothers from Gwinnett County found on Bell Mountain.
So this is the case that's grabbed national.
That's not it. Definitely leap that. I don't know how that got into the lineup. We're gonna revisit that story about the twins. Yeah, I don't know if it got broadcasted or not. But I go and look for information several times throughout the week, trying to stay
Some breaking news
abreast on any updates in regards to them. Also, the young man who stabbed that Edomite, Carmelo Anthony. I'm staying on top of that as well. And so let's get off into this. The family of Tyrone Mason speaks after DA says troopers who lied won't face charges. Let's get it.
Right now, this is out of Raleigh, and it looks like Ben Crump, very active civil rights attorney, in this rally being held after the DA failed to charge an NC, North Carolina trooper in the death of Tyrone Mason. Let's listen in here live on Impact News.
Tried to cover up the killing of Tyrone Mason.
Come on.
The investigator didn't know what they were facing.
Come on.
When they tried to cover up the killing of Tyrone Mason. Lauren Freeman, the DA, didn't know what she was facing when they tried to cover up the killing of Tyrone Mason. The county and Raleigh community, they didn't know what they were facing when they tried to cover up the killing of Tyrone Mason. The state of North Carolina, they didn't know what they were facing when they tried to cover up the killing of Tyrone Mason. And anybody, Ms. Mason, I want you to stand a little closer. Y'all, let's get a little closer. We need them to know that she's not by herself.
That's right, man. That's right.
And they had no idea what they were facing when they tried to cover up the killing of her son, Tyrone Mason.
That's right. That's right.
But today, they gonna know.
We here
Come
now.
on, the world gonna know.
We here now.
Yeah. The lawsuit that Attorney Sellers, Attorney Blakegrove, and others that have been filed makes it painstakingly clear of what they're facing. And they're not going to be able to get away with it. I mean, in the lawsuit, we make the case. And we make it plain. As they say in the Baptist Church, Senator, we make it plain. You got a video of the officer lying through his teeth. Ashamed before God. And not only is he lying, but he's conspiring. They are conspiring to cover up the crime. They conspire and say, you know, I was chasing him. His supervisor say, well, you don't want to admit that. And so the conspiracy is not only what we see with our eyes, but it's what we hear with our ears.
That's it.
So what happened was Tyrone Mason, a 31-year-old black man from Raleigh, North Carolina, died on October 7th of 2024 following a high-speed police chase. Okay, the troopers initiated the pursuit after observing Mason allegedly speeding at 70 miles an hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. Mason accelerated to approximately 100 miles per hour before losing control and crashed into a median. Marcerio had deactivated his lights and entered the pursuit moments before the crash. The controversy arose when body camera footage revealed that Marciero and his supervisor, Sergeant Matthew Morrison, conspired to misrepresent the events leading to Mason's death. In the footage, Marrison advises Marcario to claim that he stumbled upon the crash scene rather than admitting to the pursuit. Marcario subsequently relayed this false narrative to responding Raleigh police officers. So they was in a high-speed chase, which resulted in a crash. And there's been high scrutiny in regards to those events. So for PR purposes and personal liability, more so personal liability, the officer and his supervisor decided to falsify evidence, which is obstruction of the law, as far as I know it and understand it. Anybody else, that's obstruction. Tampering with evidence. Falsely giving false statements. All of that's a crime. But these officers, as usual, get off. So now we have this attorney I've seen several times over, trying to make his name for himself, you know. Going after the police department for some type of compensation. I have a problem with that. My real issue is that the officers are getting off on the same, on crimes that other people, civilians, are charged with and held liable, held responsible, charged as guilty, and serve out the sentences that go along with those offenses. That's my issue. The frequent reminder that officers are held at a different standard. And that can be reasonably accepted in some circumstances. For example, they was involved in a high-speed chase. Okay, fine. Whether they was racially profiling or the guy was actually doing 70 and a 40. Now, one warrants the chase or initiating the pursuit, the other one doesn't. The real issue is the point where they gave false statements right there. I'm not arguing over what led up. My issue is what they reported versus what the physical evidence says versus they acquit them. That's my issue. And in a lot of these cases, that's my issue. Because a lot of times we are in the midst of sin when the blue gang, as Mrs. O just called them, makes their presence known. We either we in some form of Mr. Sin in most cases, which initiates it, which gives the blue gang the opportunity to initiate a interaction. The problem is when they go overboard, where they actually delete us, when there's nothing, when there's no threat at all present. The problem is when they get off from blatantly lying, giving false statements, tampering with evidence. That's the issue. The issue is also race. And I don't want to say more so, the issue is the same, they're not the same standards of these rules are not the same. So I don't want to degrade or downplay or put on the back burner that race isn't an issue. It's an issue. The importance of that issue is just as important as, the mere legal technical shit that these people get off of. And it be solid, hardcore evidence to the contrary, or supporting that they lied or that they deleted without reasonable cause. So, but yeah, I have to say that part of the issue weighs got a little bit more weight. The race initiates it, but the actual acquittals of these laws raises even. But as I think about it, it's all going back around the race again anyway. Because if it was us in the same situation, predicament, except for those officers in Memphis. That was interesting. I was wrong on that one. I thought they was gonna get it, because usually we don't get the same passes they get. So I don't know. What else we got? We got family speaks out. So enough with him talking. Let's go ahead and see. I'm done with him. So that was what was going on with that. We got, this is the Age of the Gangsters release. First we had BMF, the co-founder or the father of BMF, and now we have the co-founder of the GDs. Oh, I had some more material on there. It was behind that. Let's finish Tyrone Mason right quick.
Friends, family, and lawyers gathered in Raleigh to call for justice. It's been a year since 31-year-old Tyrone Mason died in a single-car crash.
This rally comes days after police dash cam and body cam video was released showing a state trooper being coached to lie about what happened seconds before he pulled up to that deadly crash involving Tyrone Mason on Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh. Eyewitness News was there today as the group gathered outside the Wake County Courthouse right across the street from our downtown Raleigh newsroom. They're now calling for more to be done and for the two troopers at the center of that investigation to be removed from the job. Elena Athens is live now in Raleigh, and the Wake County DA is standing by her decision not to press charges. You followed up with her this afternoon about that.
I did indeed, and also the attorneys who are representing Tyrone Mason's family call Highway Patrol, quote, a cesspool of corruption. So those lawyers are continuing to call the firings of the troopers, and they also want the district attorney to reconsider filing charges.
The tape does not lie, and that he is a liar.
Tyrone Mason's family and their attorneys say they believe the two Highway Patrol troopers involved in this investigation don't deserve to wear a badge or collect taxpayer money. This body cam video is from October of 2024. It shows Trooper Garrett Bercario first trying to pull over Mason with his blue lights on. He followed him briefly and then stopped right before Mason's car crashes. His supervisor, Sergeant Matthew Morrison, allegedly instructed Garrett to lie to Raleigh police about what led up to the deadly crash.
I wouldn't mention anything to them about you tried to stop him.
No, I won't.
Just say, hey man, I drove up on this.
Yeah.
And leave it at that.
I mean, it's rare that you get to witness a conspiracy.
You're involved in a whole crime, sir.
That part.
Like you literally ran my baby down.
The troopers involved have been on administrative leave since January. Highway Patrol launched an internal investigation. The agency would not comment today on where that review stands.
The conduct of these officers is despicable.
Wake County District Attorney Lauren Freeman says the troopers' actions that day do not reflect what every citizen should expect of law enforcement, but she is standing by the decision not to file charges against them. Freeman says there is not enough evidence to support a conviction, and she is encouraging the family.
Jigga, what? Did she say she condemns their actions, but then in the same sentence say, I'm not going to condemn them?
What the fuck, dude?
What the fuck, dude? What is that? That's absolutely crazy. Hey, look. I condemn what you're doing, but I ain't gonna condemn you. That's absolutely insane. I want to hear that shit again. That was amazing.
Today on where that review stands.
The conduct of these officers is despicable.
Wake County District Attorney Lauren Freeman says the troopers' actions that day do not reflect what every citizen should expect of law enforcement, but she is standing by the decision not to file charges against them. Freeman says there is not enough evidence to support a conviction, and she is encouraging the family to read her report on the case.
One of the things that was disappointing to me today is that I had told those attorneys for Mrs. Mason that they can have access to that report, go to the SBI, review it in detail. They've not done that yet. Instead, they're continuing to kind of spread or, push this misinformation about what happened that evening.
So anytime you have an opposing view, your view is misinformation. I mean, what's the information? Hey, when Raleigh PD get up here, don't tell him you was in a chase, just tell him you rolled up on him and he was already like this. Which is contrary to all the video footage. And now you have it on audio, what the supervisor is telling him what to do and say. What else do you freaking knee. Oh my God.
What the fuck, dude?
What the fuck, dude? That's crazy. That's absolutely asinine. I can't believe it. That's wild. Like I said, rarely do you have the opportunity to see it and hear it. There's always some type of speculation. You know what I'm saying? What they call it? It's not subjective. It's got a subjective component to it, as far as the evidence that is involved in a lot of cases. But this is hard. This is in your face. This is blatant, and they still said, "Well, I condemn what you do in speech and word, but I ain't gonna condemn what you do as far as making you accountable." So, Tommy, don't do that again. That's what that was. In your face. She says it right in your, they do it in your face. She says it in your face. These Edomites do what the fuck they want to do. Of course, they place, right? Let's finish this off.
So we also learned that lawyers plan on adding the Raleigh Police Department to a lawsuit that was filed last week. The Raleigh Police Department has said of this incident, in part, we are reviewing our crash investigation procedures, specifically how we interact with families of the victims. We're live in Raleigh tonight. Elena Athens, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
And we learned today that they are also calling on the state attorney general.
Let me do something to this ownership right quick before this video ends. The owner of this video was ABC 11, okay? ABC 11. I didn't change it on here. I'm about to change it right now. ABC 11 is the owner of this video. So y'all won't be crying and shit.
To launch an investigation into what happened, so we'll wait to get a response from the AG's office on that.
Elena, thank you.
All right. And we got one more on it.
I wouldn't mention anything to them about you tried to stop him. No, I won't. Just say, hey man, I drove up on this. Yeah. And leave it at that.
Tonight, we're taking a closer look at these newly released body camera and dash camera videos that show two state troopers lying about a crash that killed Tyrone Mason in 2024. WR's Aaron Thomas spent the night dissecting these clips. He joined us live from the Highway Patrol headquarters in Raleigh. Aaron?
Gerald, advocates with Emancipate NC say they want to see accountability from those two state troopers involved in this investigation. Yet tonight we're getting new comment from the Wake County District Attorney, who reiterates that she's not filing charges because at some point one of those troopers told the truth to some officers on scene. State Highway Patrol shared 5 videos of the deadly crash from October 7th, 2024.
Fired EMS 1018 to Capitol and Wake Forest Road, reference at 1050.
Moments before this call, Trooper Garrett Macario spotted this car speeding down Capitol Boulevard and proceeds to chase it. The driver, Tyrone Mason, crashes into a barrier. For about a minute, Trooper Macario flashes his flashlight but hasn't checked the car itself. Another clip shows the trooper on the phone with his superior, Sergeant Matthew Morrison, who tells him to not say he pursued the driver.
I wouldn't mention anything to them about you tried to stop him.
No, I won't.
Just say, hey man, I drove up on this. Yeah. And leave it at that.
The blatancy of and the casualness of the cover-up between the superior and the initial state trooper is deeply concerning.
Community advocate Dawn Blagrove with Emancipate NC says the justice system failed Tyrone Mason's family by not having both troopers criminally charged for their actions.
The message that it sends to other law enforcement is that they can literally get away with murder. They can literally get away with deception.
I reached out to Wake County District Attorney Lauren Freeman to see if she had plans to change her course of action. In an email she wrote back saying in part, "Our laws state that lying is not a crime absent something else. The fact that Trooper Macario told another officer and the watch commander for the Raleigh Police Department the truth when they responded to the scene would keep the state from being successful at any trial." From these videos, it appears that Tyrone Mason did not receive any medical attention until Raleigh police officers arrived on scene. The district attorney's office ruling that both troopers will have to work outside of Wake County if they end up keeping their jobs with Highway Patrol. Aaron Thomas, WREO News, live in Raleigh.
You'll find our previous reporting on the crash and the DA's decision not to charge.
That's crazy. That's absolutely bananas. Wow. Let's see here. All right. What we got up next? All right.
Another breaking news update. The suspect in a mass shooting over Memorial Day weekend in South Carolina.
We have a young man who was part of the Navy and found himself.
Another breaking news update. The suspect in a mass shooting over
ended up in some trouble over the Memorial Day weekend. And it looks like he messed around and destroyed his whole career. More than that, freedom, what we know it as. Trying to decide if I want to do this or the gangster disciple dude. I'm gonna go do this. This is more substantial instead of going over gang members. Just to touch on his story right quick, Trump pardoned his federal charges. He still have to serve his state charges or what have you. I think he's up for parole, and that's what's up on him. So now they letting the OGs on the loose. So see what kind of shenanigans they gonna end up in. I hope they go somewhere, be quiet and chill out. But that was what was up on him. I'm not about to go in no video on him. Let's get into what this young man did in South Carolina. This has got a little bit more substance to it.
Memorial Day weekend in South Carolina has been arrested in Illinois.
Authorities tracked the suspect to Lake County. Our Charlie DeMar is here with what he's learned about the 19-year-old's ties to the area. Charlie.
And Joe and Erica, the 19-year-old wanted on attempted murder charges in South Carolina was arrested by the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, or NCIS, and booked into the Lake County Jail. The Navy sailor is assigned to the Naval Station Great Lakes.
The Naval Station Great Lakes in North Chicago, the Navy's largest training installation, is where 19-year-old Shawan Shamarian Williams was arrested Thursday afternoon on a warrant for assault and attempted murder in South Carolina. Cell phone video shows the chaotic shooting scene from Memorial Day weekend. 10 people were shot as they got off a boat in Little River. a community near the North Carolina border.
We got shot coming off the boat. We were on the pier.
Jeremy Evans was shot in his leg. He posted this video of his recovery and responded to Thursday's arrest by saying justice for us all.
When I got hit, I took my shorts off and I wrapped it around my wound. We were involved in a mass shooting. 10 of us got sprayed on this deck.
Police say a private charter boat had just docked when an argument led to the shooting.
He started shooting and running backwards.
Back in Lake County, Williams was taken into custody by the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, or NCIS. The Navy says the 19-year-old was a hull maintenance technician seaman assigned to Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command, Great Lakes. Police in South Carolina say Williams is expected to be charged with multiple counts of attempted murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and more arrests are possible.
And Williams was booked into the Lake County Jail on a fugitive of justice charge. He will appear in court Friday morning, where the extradition process is expected to begin. Live in the newsroom, Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Chicago. Erica?
Thank you, Charlie.
It feels. ABC 15's Gianna Forbes got to speak with the victim today after he found out a suspect is in custody. She joins us live in studio. So, Gianna, what did he have to say?
Connor, Jen, Jeremy Evans is happy to be home, but also happy to be alive after an Horry County Police Facebook post last night announced an arrest.
We're just remaining hopeful, and we're remaining, like I said, we all have to be together. We have to stick together through the situation.
Remaining hopeful as police remain diligent on finding everyone involved in the mass shooting on a party boat in Little River on Memorial Day weekend. Many sleepless nights for Jeremy Evans, one of 10 shot Sunday night after a boat carrying 124 people docked in Little River. Now finally getting rest after seeing one suspect in custody. An Horry County Police Facebook post shared that 19-year-old Shawan Shamarian Williams is in custody in Lake County, Illinois, and will be extradited back to Horry County in connection with that shooting. I asked Evans what it was like to hear there had been an arrest.
It was multiple suspects. I am happy that law enforcement has made an effort to apprehend these criminals and these suspects who have traumatized us in this situation. But we also do know that there is more justice to receive, and there are more suspects that are to be apprehended.
He's happy but not satisfied until he says police can find what he claims to be multiple people involved. And police haven't ruled out other suspects either, sharing in the post that, quote, other individuals could be charged as the investigation continues. Evans says it all comes back to being alive.
I mean, we are far from being at peace, but we have been able to, at least return home and be in the comfort of our homes, and thank God that we're still here today.
Now, Evans says he doesn't know who organized the boat party. He just knows it was welcome to everyone. All you had to do that Sunday was pay a ticket on an event website to get onto that boat. Live in studio, Gianna Forbes, ABC 15 News.
So that was a problem right there. It's a freaking free fall. So somebody was throwing a party. Somebody was selling a party and tickets. I wouldn't go to no free fall. In Detroit, I don't know if this term is used anyplace else, but I know it's used in Detroit. Cabaret. Usually, who's the people who's throwing that party, and pretty much everybody that's there. So cabarets usually don't have an issue. But when it's just anybody can come, that usually has an issue. So in this situation, an altercation happened, an argument happened, and they came back shooting. This young man has messed up his entire life. When he was on the fast track to successful life currently. Congratulations, you played yourself, for real. That's a real sad case. 19 years old.
There's been so much storm damage already at this hour. In fact, we're getting a look at the
So now we're
damage
about
left
to get
behind
into
after
the headline of the show. Let's go ahead and get into the news article on this one.
Ready at this hour. In fact, we're getting a look at the damage left behind after another tornado hit Metro Atlanta. This tornado caused a lot of damage in Henry County. 11 Alive's Ariana Maniz joins us live. Ariana, you spent the morning talking to people who are now trying to pick up the pieces. They've been through so much and really just the beginning in so many ways.
That's right, Cheryl. We just spoke to a father, Tray Chaney, who is actually an actor in the HBO show The Wire. Him and his son was inside their home, this home right here, when that tornado touched down in this Locust Grove neighborhood. When we spoke to Tray, he had just left Grady Hospital, still shaken and still processing what happened after his son was thrown from this home. Tray recounted the traumatic experience. He says that him and his son had just spent the day together after doing a press event. When the storm hit, Tray went to rest upstairs. Malachi went to his room to play video games around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. He said that's when his house collapsed. Tray described being unconscious for 2 minutes, waking up to find his face in mud and frantically searching for his son. Tray says that he was knocked unconscious. He was buried in debris, woke up panicking. His son Malachi was thrown 300 feet from the home. When his son was found, neighbors had to help find his son, who was in the wooded area behind the home. He was found with broken ribs, a fractured face. He's in the hospital. He is in ICU at this hour. He says his son is still fighting for his life, but he says that he is recovering. He is strong. Tray was also taken to the hospital. Once he was discharged, he rushed to his son's bedside. When we spoke to him, he could barely process what was left standing and just thinking about his son still in the hospital. Take a listen.
It's going to take a long time to get through this. My main concern right now is my son Malachi Chaney, though. I want my son to be, I want him back to being the great kid he is. We experienced a lot of great things together. We experienced something tragic together that we'll always forever be able to look back on and say we overcame that. My son is he just finished his freshman year at Savannah State University.
He said thankfully his wife was not at the home, but she did arrive and saw the rubble, what was left of their home. Right now, the National Weather Service is here surveying the damage. Tray is also here. We see officials with GEMA, the fire department, also here surveying the damage. And what's interesting, this is the only home in this neighborhood that's in this condition, that's sustained so much damage. The home next to it, the siding has been ripped off the insides of the home. The windows have been blown out, and a few other homes in this neighborhood. The siding of the home has been knocked off, a few shingles. But Tray's home is the only one that was leveled by this tornado. He says that they do have a long road ahead of them, but they say they're strong and they're going to get through this. He said that his son is recovering. He is doing well. He is responding. He's gone through a few x-rays at Grady Hospital at this point. The family has also set up a GoFundMe so people can support this family in their tough time that they're dealing with at this point. Reporting live from Locust Grove, I'm Ariana Maniz for 11 Alive. Back to you.
Ariana, so much emotional and physical trauma, certainly thinking about Malachi and his dad. Thank you so much. And don't forget, you can track the weather on your time on our new Weather Impact 24/7 on 11 Alive.
Yeah, and tonight we are learning more about the 18-year-old who was thrown from his Henry County home during that tornado yesterday that hit Locust Grove.
Tray Chaney, an actor known for his role on The Wire, says his 18-year-old son, Malachi Chaney, is hospitalized in critical condition. 11 Alive's Molly Oaks shares his message of hope.
Man, cherish life as much as you can.
In a moment.
I just remember turning to my right, and my wall was coming towards my face. And my body levitated.
Life changed for Tray Chaney.
So I was yelling Malachi's name out. Malachi, where you at? But when I came from under the covers, this is what I seen.
But in that instant, he couldn't find who he was looking for.
And I said, I can't find my son. Where's my son at? That's all I wanted to know.
He later learned his son was thrown 300 feet from their home.
My message, hug on your loved ones. Cause snap of a finger, it could be over with. I'm fortunate to still be alive to be able to talk.
Telling us Malachi is in the ICU with broken ribs and fractures in his face.
I want him back to being the great kid he is. We experienced something tragic together that we'll always forever be able to look back on and say we overcame that. My son is he just finished his freshman year at Savannah State University. Sorry, y'all.
Tears for the hurt, thankful for the healing.
He coming along, but he's...
All right, so our hearts go out. '18 says this shows just how flimsy these new homes are made. Yeah, that damn house looked like it was made out of paper mache. I'm looking at what they used to build that house with. Looked like it was a mixture of bubble gum, Elmer's glue, some spit. Put it in a pile, waved the magic wand and said presto. And that's what it was. That's what they came up with. Then they got the nerve to charge $400,000 for this shit. Probably between 4 and 5. But be that as it may, our hearts go out to the Chaney family. We pray that your son comes through and y'all get through this and what have you. That's pretty much what I have on that. That's a real sad case, and it was one of at least one of my beloved actors. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of my favorite shows, The Wire. I remember the Corner. That was a hot show. So early 2000s, that's when that stuff came out. So again, Chaney family, our hearts go out to you guys. We're gonna send prayers up, hope and pray that your son make it through and be as he was in whole. All right. So with that, we're going to go into the second half of the show. But before we do that, Mrs. O got something to say to us. Go ahead, Mrs. O. Do your thing.
Shalom, family. This is Mrs. O. Thank you for joining our channel. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you would like to support our channel, you can do so by scanning the QR code to the Cash App or the PayPal in the lower left corner. We would greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the show.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment. You know, help us get this algorithm heated up for us, okay? Help us get this thing going. All right. We strongly believe, and obviously we have people that keep coming back who also believe we putting out some quality content. Okay. Mrs. O gives her take on the shenanigans that our community go through. I do so as well. Kind of turned the how Surreal Sundays is going. We going over issues in the news that affects our community and going into that. And in most cases, we saying, well, would they have experienced what they experienced if they would have followed God's laws and what have you? And that's not to make light or add insult to injury to what whoever's experiencing whatever, but it's to teach us, to teach myself, to hey, if the law, statutes, and commandments is a safeguard, and that's the message. It's a safeguard. If you do this, you won't experience that. And that's the message. So let's get into the second half of the show, which is this week's Nat Shenanigan. Let me get it queued up for you.
We begin with that tragic breaking news in Inglewood. 3 children.
All right, here we go.
We begin with that tragic breaking news in Inglewood. 3 children slashed in a brutal attack allegedly by their own mother.
Our Jermont Terry is live at Comer Children's now. Jermont, you spoke with the hero neighbor who drove the family to the hospital.
I did, Joe. You know, one thing he said, he first drove them to St. Bernard Hospital, but they were transported here to Comer, where all 3 are listed in serious condition. This after police say their mother, for reasons still unknown, attacked them by stabbing them in their wrist. As that neighbor pointed out, he came outside and saw the mother pleading for help and completely bloody. Police roped off the entrance to this Inglewood building. Inside an apartment off 71st and Harvard, police say the children, ages 1, 3, and 5, were seriously injured by their mother.
They was bloody. They was bloody, man. They was bloody.
This neighbor, who goes by D, pulled up on the block in his tow truck right when the mother came running outside.
Kept screaming like, I need help me with my baby. I called the police, they didn't come. So at first I wasn't gonna put them in my truck because of blood, but I threw them all in the truck.
He drove the mother and children to the nearest hospital, unaware how they were injured, but their cuts were obvious.
You can tell the little one was cut right here because he was bleeding. The other one was bleeding from the side, and the one she had, he was just bloody.
By the time he got to the ER, he says he could not believe the words the mother told police.
We get in there, they were like she did it, then that's when the security guard grabbed her and took her in the room.
She is very aggressive. She's in the ER fighting the staff members.
Police say the mother intentionally slashed the wrist of all 3 children, and with dried blood stains on his pants, this neighbor says he's more hurt when he reflects on what the oldest child told his mother during that ride.
The little boy was in the truck like, Mom, it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be all right, you don't cry. And when I got there and she said that, I really wanted to just, man, you know, they got rules and laws now, but
you were hurt.
I was hurt.
It shows the resilience of children. Even the Bible says, and a child shall lead.
Witnesses say the mother kept repeating, she can't raise these children alone. Pastor Donovan Price says this is a reminder we must all check up on single mothers and remind them of resources available.
Mother seemed like she just wanted help. But you never know what to do. And you want to reach folks before they reach that breaking point, because this is a breaking point situation.
Now, police did take that mother into custody. Charges are pending. Everyone is hoping that
Jigga, what? Oh, she's the victim? She got a breaking point? They're making excuses for this snatch? What kind of bullshit is that?
What the fuck, dude?
You got a breaking point. Right. Exactly, 18. Absolutely. Did she think about that before she made him? No, she was thinking about getting off. She wasn't thinking about the breaking point. She was thinking about getting broke in. She the victim. And that kid was just being a kid, because most kids have a ability to love unconditionally. That's a nice YouTube term. What the fuck's wrong with these bixes? What a way to make that YouTube PG. Ain't that about it? I'm trying to get the picture of this broad so she can get her flowers. And she deserves her flowers right about now. Some dead ones. Let me play this again. I'm gonna stop when I get the picture.
And with that tragic breaking news in Inglewood, 3 children slashed in a brutal attack allegedly by their own mother.
Our Jermont Terry is live at Comer Children's now. Jermont, you spoke with the hero neighbor who drove.
Absolutely, 18. She's the victim because the father or the fathers don't want to, because she stabbed their ass in the hand too. That's what happened to them. She was stabbing their ass in the hand and what have you.
Drove the family to the hospital.
I did, Joe. You know, one thing he said, he first drove them to St. Bernard Hospital, but they were transported here to Comer, where all 3 are listed in serious condition. This after police say their mother, for reasons still unknown, attacked them by stabbing them in their wrist. And as that neighbor pointed out, he came outside and saw the mother pleading for help and completely bloody. Police roped off the entrance to this Inglewood building. Inside an apartment off 71st and Harvard, police say the children, ages 1, 3, and 5, were seriously injured by their mother.
They was bloody. They was bloody, man. They was bloody.
This neighbor, who goes by D, pulled up on the block in his tow truck right when the mother came running outside.
Kept screaming like, I need help me, my baby. I called the police, they didn't come. So at first I wasn't gonna put them in my truck because of blood, but I threw them all in the truck.
He drove the mother and children to the nearest hospital, unaware how they were injured, but their cuts were obvious.
You could tell the little one was cut right here because he was bleeding. The other one was bleeding from the side, and the one she had, he was just bloody.
By the time he got to the ER, he says he could not believe the words the mother told police.
We get in there, they were like, she did it. Then that's when the security guard grabbed her and took her in the room.
She was very aggressive. She's in the ER fighting the staff members.
Police say the mother intentionally slashed the wrist of all 3 children, and with dried blood stains on his pants, this neighbor says he's more hurt when he reflects on what the oldest child told his mother during that ride.
The little boy was in the truck like, Mom, it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be all right, you don't cry. And when I got there and she said that, I really wanted to just, man, you know, they got rules and laws now, but
you were hurt.
I was hurt.
It shows the resilience of children. Even the Bible says, and a child shall lead.
Witnesses say the mother kept repeating, she can't raise these children alone. Pastor Donovan Price says this is a reminder. We must all check up on single mothers and remind them of resources available.
Mother seemed like she just wanted help. But you never know what to do. And you want to reach folks before they reach that breaking point, because this is a breaking point situation.
Now, police did take that mother into custody. Charges are pending. Everyone is hoping that the 3 children recover not just physically, but mentally as well from this attack. Reporting live from Comer Children's Hospital tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS News, Chicago. Erica?
Jermont.
Okay, so this was 3 days ago. Hold on, I'm trying to get some information on ChatGPT. The incident you're referring to, Lavana Torres or Torres. Let me see if I can get her. They didn't show her picture on here. Let me see if I can get her picture. Man, this Chat GPT is lovely. Absolutely love this stuff, man. Man, it gets you the information you need. It scans the whole internet of most resources. I love Chat GPT. That is not her. Is that her? "13 days ago. Mother accused of stabbing. This is 8 years. 13. Mother accused of stabbing after finding mess in Chicago home. This is not it. 9 days ago. One night mess, one night, one terrifying morning. This is not it. 12 days ago. That's not it. Well, did I? We got another Chicago mom allegedly stabbed 7-year-old son with a kitchen knife because he caused a mess. Let me help that GPT narrow it down, because this lady had one child. The incident we just went over had 3 children. Okay, well, ChatGPT failed me for the first time since I've been using it. Cannot find further information on this. And it looks like the news is keeping the name under wraps and any pictures and what have you. So we do not have a picture to show to display this demon on Snatch Shenanigans. But I will get your picture.
We begin with that tragic breaking news in Inglewood. 3 children slashed in a brutal attack allegedly by their own mother.
still trying to see what I can do. I just put in the Inglewood neighborhood of Chicago. Okay. 23-year-old. Oh, wow. She has like a million names. Rana, Rakee, Kari, Parker, White. Let's see if we can get a picture of her. We only have that one news. Let's see if I can put in a picture for. I'm gonna get this face. I'm gonna get this face. That GPT is getting that together. We got the name. Page unresponsive. Okay, we're coming back. Here we go. We got the face. We got the face. Let's switch it up. There she is, folks. That's the dean. Let me do this. We go back here. Here we go. Oh. Images. There we go. Trying to get her big enough. All right, we get right back to the same picture that we was at, but this is her right here. See if I can blow this up. Guess we gotta go through the commercial on this. Bear with me. I'm about to get this face. There's no way to skip this. Gotta deal with it. Gotta deal with the commercial. Thumbtack. Breaking news. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Going through pretty fast. Here we go. Boom. Here we go. Got it. see if I can get it on my other one right quick. All right, very well. So we got the pic. Let me see here. I could pronounce her name. You know, my hooked on phonics don't be on point all the time. You know what? I'm gonna put the name. I know what to do. I know what to do. We'll play this. And I'm gonna put her name in the video owner. That's not what I got. This is what I got. Right here is the name. I got it listed right up here in the video owner. Unless those are the names of the children. But yes, a photograph of, according to Chat GPT, Orana Rocky Carey Carlene Parker White has been released by the Chicago Police Department following her arrest. She was charged with 3 counts of attempt first-degree murder and 3 counts of aggravated battery after allegedly stabbing her 3 children in Inglewood neighborhood of Chicago on May 28, 2025. The mugshot has been published by multiple news outlets, including Fox 32 Chicago and CBS Chicago. So that's the name, and if you can see it in the video owner. All right. So that's her. Let me go over here. This demon right here. Take a good look at this demon for doing that to your children. I pray the Most High judges you. It gives you the judgment that you deserve. Right. Exactly. Because she's not psycho. She's just a demon. That's it. That's it. She's just a demon. And you have made your way to this week's Snatch Shenanigans. Congratulations. Next up, we got this week's Tidbit in Health. No, she's been charged. I don't know if she's been arraigned or not. And the arraignment is when you get yours. So I believe she's still being held. She's still being held. So she's not out on bond yet. This happened a couple of days ago. So she'll probably get arraigned this coming week. Right now she's locked up. I'm pretty sure of it. She'll get arraigned. She'll get her bond, and if she's able to post bail, then she'll be out. But since the questions are coming in, we will put this on our list of follow-ups and see what comes up, and we will let you guys know what's going on with this demon. No, she doesn't. She does not. She does not need a bond. Absolutely not. So next up
For extreme hair,
is this week's tidbit in health.
for extreme
Again, we
hair,
got our number one source, Dr. Berg, Eric Berg. I like to use his material a lot. He got a lot of good stuff. So now we're about to find out how we can supercharge our hair. Let's check it out.
growth. Apply this twice a week. This natural remedy can work on many different types of hair loss problems, whether it's autoimmune, nutritional, or even an overgrowth of some type of fungus or pathogen. And you're going to be using the juice of an onion. I'm going to show you how to supercharge that recipe to take it to the next level. If you're skeptical, you should be, because there's so many things out there that really don't work. People want to know about, is my hair going to smell like an onion? You're going to actually wash your hair twice after you apply this. There's not going to be any smell of onion. What is so special about an onion that can help your hair? It's loaded with sulfur. The sulfur is not necessarily related to hair loss, but it is related to the raw material that can help build the main protein in hair, which is called keratin. This keratin is sulfur-based. Onions have the highest amount of quercetin. Quercetin is going to help your hair. One of the biggest things that quercetin does is it helps suppress this autoimmune attack T cell situation. If your hair loss is alopecia, where you have these patches of hair coming out, it can help you. On top of everything, quercetin helps increase the growth hormones of the hair follicle, which is right at the root of the hair itself. And on top of all of that, quercetin is a powerful antimicrobial, protecting your scalp against overgrowth of yeast, fungus, mold. And if you also have dandruff or some other problems going on the scalp, that can help you as well. Let me simply tell you how to do it, and then I'm going to get into a few little tweaks to this recipe to take it to the next level. This whole recipe is based on an organic red onion, because red has the most quercetin. Take one onion, chop it into small pieces, put it into the blender, and blend it down. Then you're going to take the blended slurry and put it through a cheesecloth so you can separate out the liquid into a container. Now, it would be good if you had some type of squeeze bottle that you can put it into, but you don't really need that. All you need is a little container, maybe a mason jar. And then the next thing you're going to do when you go into the shower is you're going to get your hair wet, and then you're going to take this liquid and you're going to start to massage it into your hair, the actual roots as well, for a couple minutes. Once you get it massaged into the hair, you will then come out of the shower, dry your body off, and then leave this mixture in your hair for about 30 minutes, but I would personally recommend to leave it in your hair for 1 hour. And you could probably just use a shower cap as well. Then what you're going to do is go back into the shower, rinse it off, shampoo your hair actually twice to remove any odor that you might not like. You're going to just do that twice a week, okay, for about 4 to 6 weeks. Now, as far as hair growth, you should start noticing some hair growth after week 3 or 4. Now, let's take your results to the next level. There's 2 things that you can try. The first one is going to be pretty cool, but the second one's going to be even cooler. It's simply just adding something to the onion juice. You're going to be adding 5 drops of rosemary oil. What is so special about rosemary oil? Well, in a randomized trial in 2015, they compared rosemary oil to one of the top medications for alopecia. And they found rosemary by itself was as effective as this medication. Rosemary oil has several phytonutrients that are anti-inflammatory, are antioxidant, that stimulate the scalp in a way that increases blood flow, and it's great for autoimmune issues. The onion juice by itself has been shown to be pretty effective. So in a study in the Journal of Dermatology, they split this group in half, and half of the group did onion juice on their hair, and the other half just did water. And just within 6 weeks, the group that used the onion juice had an 86.9% result. And when I talk about results, I'm talking about significant hair regrowth, compared to the other group, which just used water, only had a 13% result. Now, there was another study on mice, a group that used the quercetin, and they actually did separate out just the quercetin from the onion, showed regeneration of the hair in all of the treated groups. And in the untreated groups, there was no regrowth of hair. So now let's supercharge this recipe and take it to the next level. You're basically going to enhance the onion juice. Now, how do you do that? You're going to ferment it. You're going to take one onion, you're going to take the peel off, you're going to chop it up, you put it in the blender, strain out the pulp, and then take that slurry and put it into a mason jar. And then you're going to add a 8-ounce cup of water, and then you're going to take a teaspoon of sea salt. Then you're going to add half a teaspoon of raw honey. Mix it up really good. Put a cheesecloth over the mason jar or even a coffee filter. Then you're going to put it on your counter so it can ferment for 72 hours. And you're going to notice within the second day as these little tiny CO2 bubbles, carbon dioxide bubbles popping up. What you're doing is you're enhancing the quercetin. The nutrition that's in there is also going to be enhanced because the microbes are going to actually make more vitamins. So basically we're taking this antidote to hair loss, onion juice, and we're magnifying it. And also the pH of the onion juice is going to be becoming more acidic to about 5, which is going to be very therapeutic to your scalp. Now, at this point, you want a cheesecloth, okay, so you can separate out the liquid and put it in that squeeze bottle and then apply it to your hair just like I've already talked about, which is getting your hair wet and then massaging it into your scalp for a few minutes and then coming out of the shower, waiting for 1 hour with the shower cap if you want. Then you're going to go back in the shower, rinse out your hair very thoroughly, and shampoo your hair twice. And I would recommend doing this twice a week for 6 weeks or even longer, depending on your situation. A couple other key things to note. There's so many different mechanisms involved with vitamin D in hair growth or loss of hair that you should be taking at least 10,000 or 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every day, or get a good amount of sun. And the only other thing you need to have attention on is to make sure you're eating the right foods to support the nutrients for your hair. And if you haven't seen this video on that topic, I'll put it up right here. Check it out.
Did you know that you...
All right. Thanks, Miss O, for bringing that to my attention. Dr. Berg was the owner of that video. I got it up just in time, but that goes to Dr. Berg. So, put some onions in your head. Smell like a burger. I tell you, Mrs. O, if you walking around here smelling like a coney dog, it's on and popping. Straight up. I'm biting you. You getting bit. I love onions. If you smell like a burger or a Coney Island chili dog, hot dog. In Detroit, we got Coney Islands, which is restaurants, short order restaurants that we have called Coney Islands. I'm telling you, this is all. If you smell like a goddamn Coney dog or a burger, you're getting bit. You're getting bit. Bottom line. So, grow some hair, smell like a burger. Hey, it might help you out on getting that high value man you've been looking for. You know, you go around smelling like a burger. And you can stop wearing them lace fronts and wigs and shit. Get your hair back. You know, get your natural back. Smell like a burger. And get your high value man. You winning. You is absolutely winning. You is winning. Yeah. That's the ticket right there and there. That's it. That's how you do it. Reverse your alopecia. Get your natural back. Smell like a burger. Get you a high value man. High value man loves to eat. What better way to entice them, to attract them? Smell like a burger. All right, next up on the list is that hot video. Let me get it queued up for you. Let me get it queued up for you. All right, here we go. Let's get it.
First Kings chapter 2, verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
I got the law locked in my head. I keep the law just like I said. I ain't no zombie walking dead. I chose life like Moses said. I got the law locked in my head. I keep the law just like I said. I ain't no zombie walking dead. I chose life like Moses said. I'm a man now, shoot no worth your hands down. I talk the talk, I walk the walk, I don't just stand around. I make things happen cause I keep God first. You think your job is something, keep it bad with hard work. I'm an Israelite, that's right, I bring the truth out. Don't number y'all's laws come out this Hebrew's mouth. No lie, I'ma die for the Most High. And prophesy your house shines, there's close by. You just wanna repent your sins, you wanna know why? The Most High got the power to make your soul fry. Why you ride around town like you so fly? A war for spirits going down, you better choose your side. Wake up, Israelites, wake up. Christ died for our sins and coming back to save us. Turn to Zion, repent in your prayers. Turn to Zion, repent in your prayers. I got the law locked in my head. I keep the law just like I said. I ain't no zombie walking dead. I chose life like Moses said. I got the law locked in my head. I keep the law just like I said. I ain't no zombie walking dead. I chose life like Moses said. I'm a man now, it's true, y'all has awakened me and graciously replaced deceit with a nationality. Y'all has awakened me to escape the be fatality. They about to be inside the be false reality. One less casualty in spiritual warfare. You say you feel your house shot and get you warfare. I can't imagine what's gonna happen when our Lord's here. If I see the scenery, I be screaming, swing the sword down. Destroy her, y'all raise it. Blaze with the whore Babylon, the great witch. Off the Israelite blood, she was made rich. So enslavement is the price she gonna pay with. I'm a man now, who I know my purpose. Keep the law and let this life I live is worthless. I'm a man now, understand the curses. Y'all chastise who we love cause we his first pick. I got the law locked in my head. I keep the law just like I said. I ain't no zombie walking dead. I chose life like Moses said. I got the law locked in my head. I keep the law just like I said. I ain't no zombie walking dead. I chose life like Moses said.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
All right. So, as we reflect on this evening's show, I mean, we sending up prayers all over the place on this one. Praying that they get the fundings that's needed to get the Job Corps back going, and do the audits, do a clean house, get rid of all the inefficient, thieving management that's misappropriating funds, and so the young adults that need this program and are willing to go through this program and have access to this program. Job Corps is not just for the delinquents and those that don't care, not trying. I'm one of thousands that is living proof that Job Corps works. It works. For the young man that was involved in this shooting this past Memorial weekend, who's destroyed his entire life, part of the story as of right now is that there was some type of altercation, then you and your YNs came back and did what y'all did. What if you just followed the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments? What would that be? Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Vengeance is of the Lord's. In addition to that, no reveling. So shouldn't have been partying there to begin with. There's a couple of scriptures I could have brought up. That one was omni-important. So I brought that up. A beloved actor from The Wire, we all hope that your son pulls through. I can't imagine going through that experience, nor I don't even want to think about it. So, Mr. Tray Chaney and his family, stay strong, stay prayed up. And we'll be praying with you. I'm your host, Old School Exit 9. This has been Surreal Sundays. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to rock with us here tonight. Remember, you are your brother and sister's keeper. And with that, take care of one another. I'll see you next week with another episode going over things that are plaguing our community and what can we do to remedy that. With that, peace.
Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you feel for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in. It's your spirit warring with your flesh, trying to get the best of you. It's all in your head and in your mind. Can't let it mess with you. Trials and tribulation, that's every day. That's what we go through. Are you gonna face it? Stand up like a man. Tell me what you gonna do. No more complaining. Gotta walk blameless. Gotta be humble. You might not get famous. We go through changes. We go through phases. This my life story. Just flip the pages. Just keep enduring. Enduring, keep the law. Cause you don't want it call. You could've still been out here lost. Woke you up to the truth, so don't sleep on it at all. Try not to fall. Try hard to ball. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in.
I'm standing up, I'm standing tall, ain't laying down, cause I'm standing on it. Oppression make a grown man mad, make you cry, don't it? I pray to God that life so hard, so I'm calling on ya. I gotta endure until the end, I know they counting on me. Just got some bad news, damn, man, they killed my homie. Hit him 9 times, he never saw it coming. Remember the last time, I think I saw you, bruh. Gave you a flyer with the knowledge, you didn't want it, bruh. Damn. I'm speak my mind, I'ma tell you the truth. It's hard on them, it's hard on us, it's hard on me, it's hard on you. I'm built for this, man, equipped for this. Might get killed for this. I pray you repent before your time is up. Your time is spent.
Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God